Hello and welcome to another Outside the Box review. Today we are looking at the original 1954 Godzilla by Bandai. This is one of my favorite movie characters of all time. I have been a Godzilla fan for the better part of my life, and I still can't get enough Godzilla stuff. I own almost all of the movies, and I'm probably one of the few people who could say that they've seen pretty much all the Godzilla movies. There are a couple of the newer ones that I have not yet had a chance to see, but I hope to change that fairly soon. These figures are very reminiscent of the figures that Bandai has been making of Godzilla for years and years and years. This wave came out in, I believe, the mid-2000s, and contains several popular Godzilla characters. These figures all stand about 6 inches high, and they're made out of a squishy vinyl. And they're not so much action figures, I feel at least, as they are kind of more of a statue type thing, a display piece, though they do have some articulation. As I said, this is from the very first Godzilla movie from 1954. That movie was, of course, in black and white. There are two versions of that movie, by the way, if you haven't seen them. The American version, which is the most common that people have seen, I guess, is actually kind of given a more lighthearted, stereotypical 50s sci-fi feel. They had an American actor and had him play a whole separate character. They wrote into the script. They changed a lot of details and just kind of made it a little more just what you think of when you think of a stereotypical 50s sci-fi movie. The original Japanese movie was intended to be a horror movie. It was intended to be just a terrifying film. And I could see how it would be. The footsteps of Godzilla were meant to mimic the sound of bombs falling from the sky. The roar was supposed to be reminiscent of an air raid siren. Looking back, people all know that Godzilla was portrayed by a man in a suit. But I gotta tell you, in that old black and white film and the way they filmed it in the original, it didn't feel like that. Sadly, I don't think this figure quite captures the absolute horror of that movie. It feels a little too goofy to me. Now, it does get a couple things right. The stance of Godzilla, for one thing. He stands very straight up and down, as the actor wearing this suit would have. The body itself is fairly bulky and kind of ill-formed in some places. What gets me is the head. I don't feel like the head is a very accurate representation of the character from that movie. It has the right details, it has the ears, it has the fangs, and it has the eyes, but the shape of it, I feel, is a bit lacking. Also, the addition of the red tongue, despite the fact that it was a black and white movie, and if you saw it in color, you might have had something like that. I think they could have gone with a darker red and not made it so pronounced. Godzilla's trademark dorsal spines are here, and they're fairly nicely done. They continue down from his back onto his very nice tail. And I think they got a nice good length on it. It's long, but they curved it so that it doesn't quite take up as much room as it might have if they gave him a straight tail. The feet are nicely done as well. They went with the four-toed feet, which is also movie accurate. For articulation, there is very minimal. The arms can rotate, as can the legs, and the tail can a little bit. It's kind of stiff on mine, but also you wouldn't really want to, because I think you'd want to keep these spines lined up, at least on display. So you're kind of given a fairly minimal range of motion on this guy. And it's funny, because I would probably end up recommending this figure to myself. If I went back in time and met myself and was like, hey, should I buy this Godzilla figure? I would tell myself yes, because I'm such a big fan. I think I would feel like I was missing something if I did not have this figure. But for anyone who is either a casual Godzilla fan, or if they are buying this for a child, which I would think you really could do quite easily, because they are a soft vinyl, and you're really not going to mess it up, and if it gets dirty, you can just run it under some water. So this actually would be a fairly decent little toy for a kid if you want to get a kid a Godzilla figure. You know, for somebody like that, this might not be the one you want to get them. If you wanted a really good-looking Godzilla figure, there are other ones that have come out more recently that I feel are much better representation of the movie they're representing. And this one just doesn't quite cut it. That has been another Outside the Box review. Hope you'll join us again for another one coming soon. Later.